Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
1. Woohoo! America! Maybe a little bit late, but if you're watching this later in the week, you don't care. Hey, we are back, and you are.
You're welcome.
100% welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Yeah, I'm just looking now at the minute. I got fluffy hair tonight. So those of you that are...
Me.
Yeah. Juan's hair is always fluffy. But, yeah, no, I don't have that going to work gel in it today, man. I don't know.
All right.
Late afternoon shower here. We're doing this on a Tuesday, which we don't normally...
Embarking on year number 6.
What's number?
March 1st, 2021 is when we launched the first episode.
Really?
Yeah.
So we are beginning. So wait, we just finished 5 years?
Yeah.
Good. Googly moogly. Never thought.
I usually don't keep a job for 5 years.
Man, no joke.
I think I've changed 3 times since I've been doing this.
Like our boy Holden Mayo. He got to 300 episodes and said...
He's out.
He's out. And his was easy. No, they weren't. Yeah, I like this stuff. He's very sharp guy. But yeah, we're about at 243, I think this one is. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Miss Manny.
We'll start calling it, y'all. If we get to 300, we'll let you know. But glad you're here. I just got to get something off my chest right off the bat, Juan, and it's because have I complained about the movie Top Gun before?
No.
All right. I'm not really complaining because I'll watch it. I've watched it 50 times.
Are you talking the original or Maverick?
The original. Because the second one is just the same movie a few years down the line.
A little better, some better AI.
No, it's always on, and I guess it's another complaint I have that you know what I miss more and more and more every day? I miss just having regular cable. I miss having we had Dish for a while. Maybe I'll go back to Dish. I miss having hey man, you turn the TV on and you got so many channels.
That was it. Yeah. All you had is like 1 or 3.
It so sucks now because I don't even know what services we have because sometimes we have them and then my wife decides, well, nobody's using them, so we get rid of them. And it's all I can do to go through the, I don't know, 3 or 4 screens and minute or so it takes to get anything live on the TV. There's no way in hell I'm then going to go, well, let me go see what's on Paramount. Let me go. No. So I'm annoyed. So right now I think we're on YouTube TV. So I'll get on there. I when we first got it, it's like everything else. YouTube TV, when it first came out, great. Just like Google was great. Now it sucks. So I got like 1,000 channels. Not really, but 100-something channels. There's
a lot.
There's nothing good. There's never anything good on TV. So I'll scan, and I'll get toward the bottom. And if there's a Top Gun on or a John Wick, every now and then they'll throw a treat. I'll watch like the Other Guys with Will Ferrell and
Well, and there's also a good chance after you watch it, if you look to see ahead what's coming up next, it's the same thing.
Same thing. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So last night I'm thumbing again, nothing, and that's what I normally just take the TV off. I look at my phone, I do something else. Yeah. Top Gun was on. All right. Yeah, put it on, and my wife was walking through the living room doing something. She had some work to do, and she says, "Oh, you've never seen this one before?" I mean, sarcastically. I said, there's nothing on, so I'm watching it, and it's stuff I thought about before, Juan, but we just took things in, and now we just take it for granted. Okay, so first of all, in the second movie, Ice he's a hero. He's Maverick's.
Yeah.
He's Maverick's guy. All right, but I don't think Ice got near the scrutiny or the criticism in the first movie. He's the guy that really killed Goose.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it. They're doing their training mission, and Maverick is his wingman. Okay, and can't leave his wingman. Can't leave his whatever, and he won't get out of the way. Maverick has the shot, and he won't get out of the way. And it keeps going on. It's saying, get out of the way, Ice. I got him. Get out of the way. And I said, I just need 30 more seconds. I just need. And his arrogance stays too long. And then finally, at the last second, he pulls out. He creates the jet wash, whatever.
Suction, yeah, the jet wash.
Okay. Nobody mentions that. Everybody, we blame Maverick, right? And it wasn't his fault that the escape thing didn't go off. But okay, so I'm thinking about that. Like, why wasn't he brought in front of that commission? All right. The other thing. So apparently we're starting, as opposed to right now where we're actually at World War III. I think that's actually going on as we speak.
Dude, I saw some good dog fights.
Okay. So in the movie, they graduate. Maverick comes back, blah, blah, blah. And they're at a party, right? I love how he's Top Gun. He's got a plaque. He's just holding his little plaque. All right. They do the thing. And then all of a sudden, they got special orders. They come in by envelope. And he says, well, some of you will not be celebrating too much or whatever the thing is. And then they call the two guys, Iceman and blah, 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 and Maverick. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all didn't even know Maverick was coming. Like, he flamed out. Half the people in Top Gun think the guy might be a problem. He's not real. But, he doesn't even have a partner. He's like, all right, Maverick,
Yeah, who's your guy?
And if nobody will fly with you, give me a call. I'll fly with you. All right. Tom's. So anyway, first
movie, man. It's a movie.
But here's the deal. If we are really in trouble, and okay, it's breaking, and this is like the most important flight, you don't think they're gonna go find guys that graduated Top Gun last year, 5 years ago,
a couple of years ago,
10 years? It wasn't like this was the first Top Gun. They spend the whole movie talking about how it's the best of the best. So you're gonna tell me that in the most important mission we have, basically the beginning of World War III, we're going to send 5 dudes or 6 dudes who just got
graduated and are now out celebrating and may not be in the best frame of mind.
And, okay, they got to take off. The MiGs are in the air. You got 3 planes. Why we got 3? But whatever. We got 3 planes ready. Why don't you launch all 3 at the first? Why do you just launch 2? Oh, because we think they have 2? What? We're afraid we're going to be upsetting? Like, why you keep Maverick on the? Because at the end of it, get Maverick, get Maverick loaded. Oh, we're stuck. Blah blah blah. Juan, and why is everybody sweating? There's no air conditioning on that. You notice that? That's one of the sweatiest movies you're ever going to see. When they cut back, everybody's sweating. Everybody
nervous, man. You're trying to save the world. You'd be nervous too.
Man. And the one that it ends up getting me at the end. So they go all the fight, right? Apparently there's 4 bogeys, not 2, right? So
that's right. They were flying,
correct,
doing sneaky stuff.
So, but he got to do my favorite move. I'm going to pull him in closer to fly. But you're going to what? That's a great scene, right? But here's the deal. So these other guys are, they're qualified pilots too. They're the Russians. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they probably just didn't graduate from Top Gun school.
Maybe not. But they know our planes. They know how many missiles we have.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we have. We got 3 planes. 1 is shot down. 1 is disabled. That's Ice. He's got 1 engine. He's in it. And then Maverick just clearly shot his last missile. And they decide to bug out. Like, wait, you're right. The remaining bogeys are bugging out.
That's why you don't think there's anything good on TV.
Remaining bogeys are bugging out. I'm like, why are they bugging out? They still got missiles. They got bullets.
2 to 1, and you got none. 2
to 1, and they could so take him out. Nah, so there you go. But anyway, I don't know why that bothered me, but it did. I
don't know. I feel you, Pan. I've talked about this before. My wife and I watched TV together, and she was out of town for 9 days.
Wow.
Which meant I got to watch something that she don't watch.
Good move.
Or I don't watch anything. And so it's like, all right, I got to just pick something that it's got a lot of episodes that I've never seen. So I started watching Mad Men, which I had never seen before.
I've only seen bits and pieces.
And, I did some research on it after. They said, the vibe of it, the costuming, the way that they interacted with one another is very true to the period, the early to mid 60s. And when I tell you, you talk about, well, everybody drinks in the office. It's about an ad agency. If you have, no idea about it, I've worked in an ad agency. We don't have, they've never had an open bar in every single office. Uh, but dude, every dude in there is hooking up with every secretary in there, and it's like totally understood.
That's New York, man.
Yeah.
That's story. The stories are out there, 100%. You know, that's
So I don't know how that movie is, or that show is not getting, canceled.
they can get away with it if they like you. They like John
Yeah.
Hamm,
Yeah.
right? They like John Hamm. So yeah, you can totally get away with yeah. It's all there's no reason for who gets canceled, who doesn't get canceled. Good grief. You look at, now that we're seeing all these stories that are coming out, and like not just stories, but I think truth about all these people in Hollywood and music, and how are they not all canceled? How are they
Yeah.
not? I was watching something, just sort of similar thing. Um, and again, here's what's scary, and then man, the world we're living in, and it just annoys me. If something catches your interest, and you got that phone in your hand, and you read it for too long, or you scroll on something, and then man, that's all you
That's all
freaking.
you get.
Now, part of it's okay because sometimes I'm interested. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
something else, but then it also kind of creeps you out. Like, oh, all right. But I started reading, and one of them is Billy, and listening is Billy Corrigan of the
Smashing
Smashing
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins. He's got a pretty good podcast. He's a very, very
Yeah,
smart
he's
guy.
super smart guy.
And he was talking about something, and other people were talking about how their theory, and Corrigan doesn't go down this line, but others have about the music industry. And we find out the music industry is as corrupt as all get out. I mean, the music industry makes the mafia look good. Like the mafia, the mafia had some standards. The mafia had some, you didn't want to cross the mafia, but at least they had some rules. The
No, you have
music,
to be in it had to be in your bloodline. You had to be a made man or
well, but the music industry was just awful. And they talk about how, and it's true if you think back to it. And I've taught. There's a reason I've always said, look, the '80s were the best music ever. Now, people in the '90s can argue with me, and you know what? That'll be the only two arguments I want to hear. If you're in the '90s and you were listening to music in the '90s, okay, I will see that. I can see why you thought that. I think the '80s and maybe even a little bit of the '70s, late '70s, some pretty good stuff. But they killed rock. Rock was still, think about it. Rock and roll music, bands, and it was just.
well, you had in the 80s, you had a really good dichotomy because you were coming off the disco era of the 70s. So you had a lot of poppy stuff, a lot of top 40 stuff, but then you also had, the early days of alternative, what I used to call new wave. But then you had like the resurgence in rock and like metal bands or hair metal
Hair metal.
and but I always thought like Guns N' Roses was, pretty authentic rock band and
Yeah. Well, their story, they're a real band. They're
yeah.
real. And one of the points that several people made is that the only concerts that sell are rock. Like if you look at, I mean, I guess you can throw in like, okay, Taylor Swift, but she plays
Well, the
around.
one that kids will go to.
Was that?
The one that young kids will
Kids
go
don't go to
to.
concerts anymore.
Yeah.
It's all old
Yeah.
people. Oh, look, some of our best friends went to Vegas to see Def Leppard. That Def Leppard has a residency now at
Yeah.
whatever hotel, and there's a picture, and it's our friend, and she's my wife's age, not quite as old as me, but older, and her daughter, right? And they're like in this, and they're just like screaming like crazy, going crazy. They're at a rock concert, dude. The people around them in the picture, oh my God, it's Golden Corral. It's like
They dinner early.
it looked like they were cheering something in the middle rows of a Golden Corral. People just a couple things is that first of all, concerts are so expensive now.
Right. You got to have some money to go to a concert. And I think now, because of the way the music industry was, and in my mind, how much a part of your world music was, there's a lot of nostalgia involved in it too.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's the music that's still around. You still hear it. You still, because it's music. It
Yeah.
was human beings that put. I'm always fascinated when the stories about how songs came to be and
Right.
uh
Or it's people who wrote the music as opposed to just they put a band together because somebody thought it was it was a marketing deal. So it was bands that busted their behind to get a record deal and then busted it again to keep the record deal.
well, and then you find
Uh,
out because they were all getting screwed because the record
yeah.
companies, as I'll say it again, are just evil as evil,
Yeah.
and you can't fight them. Let's look at some people who fought the record companies: Michael Jackson, Prince, George Michael, dead,
Yeah.
dead, dead. Yeah, man. Not saying it's a conspiracy, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's a problem. Anyway, that was one of the theories of people coming out saying that the record companies decided that rap was going to be the thing. They just and I thought about this. We were in radio, and I used to, we used to KBAU and the record companies, or a couple things would call to see. Some of them would push music
Right.
to get played. They want to see if it was getting played. But we were small enough fish that we didn't get a lot of attention. I mean, I'm
Right.
sure,
We were small markets, like
but you
small
got a
markets.
few. You got a few independent. There were some
Hmm.
independent promoters, although they were the pain. I wish if we had if we had Don Graham on the podcast right now, I would ask him. There was a guy we used to cringe, man. He called. To his credit, he was probably good at what he did, but he was like Monday mornings at 10:15 when I got off the air. That guy called. He was like, you could set your clock. That guy was calling. And the poor guy, he always had crap because it was always independent records, or like
Yeah.
they were just giving him. So we
Right.
used
They
to
wasn't
say
giving
that.
him the good stuff.
We used to say that, man, if they ever give you a song halfway decent, we'll put it on the air. Of course, what we found out was they don't know. You could tell them anything. You could just report like what's the top 10 songs, or what's the top 20 songs we played most this week. Dude, we made that stuff up.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
kind of like
counting. You
the
think I'm counting? I don't know.
whatever when you get the little black book, or where you used to get the book and $1 in the mail for like for TV viewing,
Yeah.
the little diary as you log in what you watch. Oh, yeah,
Nielsen. Yeah, Nielsen ratings.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I get people all the time. I hear about these radio stations, the music director picks the songs, and I'm like, hey, I ain't working over there. I dare a music director to tell me.
I don't think there's one station group in Baton Rouge that really was the only, if not all, the majority of the shows were local. Were They weren't syndicated shows. They were just guys from there.
Okay.
And Walton and Johnson used to be on that station, and then they flipped to an AM station a number of years ago. And I read last Friday that this station's morning show, which has been on the air probably 8 years since Walton and Johnson moved on, is now off. And they didn't say what was coming, but it's so music director, it's like, that's a corporate gig now.
Oh, yeah. But we had it, and again, I miss that. It's one of those, you try to explain, we sound like we're from the Stone Age, try to explain to younger folks about, no, this is how it was back in the day. And we just take that for granted. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have, we were heck, I was the program director for a while.
Well, the only
I couldn't even
fun
tell
to
you what
me,
my
other
job
than
was.
talking, but the best part of being in radio back then was because you played music that you liked.
Pretty much. Well, that's how it was in college. And then we ended
Yeah.
up going to, I ended up, at a station where it should have been more structured. And God bless, Don Graham's out there. He's retired now, but he's trying to write books. He's writing books. I hope he's having success with them.
Competing with AI.
He's in play. Yeah, he's in plays and stuff now. So Don was our program director, and I guess technically music director. He would get to choose. While I was there with him, he got to he decided what the top 10, what the hot
Yeah.
rotation. We
Yeah.
had, all right, kids, you're gonna sound like this. This is I'm talking about like working on a printing press here, right? We had a box to the right of the turntables with 45s. 40, remember the little records,
Yeah.
guys?
Small records.
45s. Because I still remember, dude. I still remember the first CD we got. I remember it was Foreigner. Say You Will. Say You Will. Say You. Why? I remember it's the first CD I'd ever seen. Anyway, so we got the 45s, and then Don would get to decide hot rotation. It was the first thing, it might be like 10, 15 records, second one, second one, second one. And then he had a clock on the wall. And at this time you were supposed to play a red. At this time you were supposed to play a blue. So theoretically, I'm supposed to be playing a hit, maybe an up and coming song, maybe a classic, then a hit. Dude, I mean, I feel looking back now, I apologize, Don. I mean, part of me is passive aggressive, and part of me is like, man, nobody's telling me what to play on this. First of all, I'm not even following the rules. It's, like how many songs am I supposed to play an hour? It depends how much I feel like talking.
Yeah.
I go an hour sometimes. I might get 4 or 5 songs on there.
You got to
And
refill your cup of coffee.
that format doesn't exist anymore. You realize that?
No.
We used to have like literally it was talk and music, almost a 50-50, which I would kind of enjoy right now because I listen to a lot
If you listen, and I haven't listened in years, I used to love Kid Craddock in the morning show. And if you listen for more than 30 minutes, or it's like literally if I would listen going to work, and then I'd work for an hour and I'd have a meeting that off site, get back in my car. Basically, they were replaying the exact same thing I heard 2 hours ago. So they do about an hour and a half a show.
right.
And then just keep playing the same clips.
Because in those days, we didn't have all the music. So you could, and I guess there was a mix there. It's like you're going to play the hits and people want to hear what's hot. And we all like to think that, I had a 4-hour shift, man. I was on 6 to 10 in the morning. I just want to think that people are turning it on at 6. And when they're hearing,
10.
and at the end of the show, when I'd say, Shecky, fuel up the jet, let's get out of here. And, the sound effects and dun, 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 dun. Oh, that was the opening. I think I came in with Indiana Jones. And what was I'm trying to remember the thing. Oh, I would hit the Animal House. What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we say that. I'd do that. So you'd want to think that people were listening, but they're not. They're coming and going.
No, it's like I think the average person listens to a station for less than 10 minutes continuously.
Well, and again, it's all dying. It's dying because, like I said, my oldest son probably still he'll listen. He'll put some Sirius on. He'll listen to some radio. My younger son, dude, his radio in his car could be broken for years. He wouldn't know it. He doesn't listen to radio at
Does he listen to Spotify? I mean, he streams.
He puts his own playlist, his own phone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's streaming off of Spotify onto his.
No, yeah, right, correct, because his stuff. But
yeah, I don't think my children, at least my younger ones, know what radio is from a frequency standpoint.
Right. And so now, granted, hopefully our generation's going to be around a little bit. That's why people still listen to talk. But all the radio stations now do podcasts. All they do is advertise where you can listen to their podcast after. But time rolls on. Just remembering back in the time when rock and roll was
king.
Was king. But I miss that. I miss because there's no morning shows I really listen to now.
No.
It's talk, but there's no
No, it's odd. In some of it, like I'll listen something, like I listen to Sirius a good bit. And if you ever listen to 70s on 7, the guy in the morning, I think is Magic Mike. He sounds like the 70s.
Okay, I'm not
DJ.
making this up. So when we texted, one of the reasons we couldn't do this on Sunday was my wife subtly hints about stuff she wants to do, and she loves the beach. And I keep telling her Galveston is not the beach. I mean, it's the beach, but Galveston is Grand Isle. Those of you that are living
It's a good. And look, I'll be honest with you. I've thought, there've been a couple of past weekends, like when my wife was out of town. I said, you know what, the weather's right. I'm gonna take the top off my Jeep and I'm gonna just drive to Grand Isle. I could sit there for a couple of hours and drive back.
Okay, I could see doing that, right? And this is not people are going to disagree with me here. I think Grand Isle's beach now is nicer than Galveston's, or at least where
Yeah,
we.
yeah, I hadn't been to Grand Island in decades,
Well, okay, so
but it's not a vacation beach.
Charles Barkley does that. Galveston, that's nasty. That's nasty.
Yeah,
That brown water. He's not lying. All right, he's not lying. Now Galveston is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's an old city, and dude, it's developed. I mean, it's 30 times bigger than Grand Isle. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot going on in Galveston, and part of that is because it's next to Houston or close enough to Houston and everything. A
right.
lot
We
of people,
went for the first time, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, not long
right,
after my daughter started
right.
in Houston, and it was like, all right, let's go chill for a day. And to me, it was good. A lot of open air restaurants, open air
Yeah,
bars where
yeah.
you've got
So
the
she
view of
decided.
the
So she
water
wanted
and
to
you
do that.
feel
So
it,
I'm like,
you feel the air.
yeah. So let's go down and do that. And on the way down, because she wanted to go on Highway 6, which I didn't really want to do, but she said that's the way she prefers to go. There's a lot of stoplights. It makes the drive longer than ever. But I hit 70s on 7, and you can either hit 70s on 7 where it's just awful, or you know what, like if they're on a roll, MacArthur's Park, melting in the
Yeah,
dark.
but you can get some old, like some early '70s, like rock, like some Grand Funk Railroad and all those.
Down, 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 down. Hey, what you do? What are the songs? Because there were songs coming on, and I'm just like, oh, I like one. Hey, did you happen to see the
Yeah,
most beautiful girl? I'm like, wow, that crossed over. And Chardonnay. And when we get
yeah.
behind closed, those crossovers, man, crossovers. But no, we went down to Galveston, and I'm sorry, it's not sand, it's silt. It's silt. I mean,
Yeah.
there's enough sand, I guess, technically, that you can call it a sand-like substance, almost like you can call Kraft single slices of cheese a cheese product. It's really, it's really not. It's really not cheese, y'all. It's something
Yeah,
else.
I don't think you're building a sandcastle.
There
Just
was a lady there doing it, man, but she had some special tools, and she was like teaching a class. She wanted to teach people how to. To me, it's like doing it with mud because,
I was gonna say it's like building a mud pie.
bro,
You're just packing it together and
and it's so, and then when it starts drying, it's just like it's almost like dust. And like you go to a beach, on the Panhandle or on Gulf Shores, whatever. You come out white sand. You got stuff on your sandals, your flip flops. You just beat them together a little bit.
yeah.
They're pretty much clean, dude. Galveston, you got to hose those things off, and then still it's not coming out. Then you take your fingers and you're trying to run in your fingers along the stuff, getting it off, and then you realize, what's this on my fingers? Like I shouldn't have residue on my
Yeah, it's like you've
fingers.
been in a lake and stuck your hand down in the mush on the bottom. Yeah,
So
I'm with you on that.
so don't get me wrong. It's the water's the water. So if you close your eyes or just don't pay attention, look above the brown of the I'm not going to call it sand, of the sediment. Um, I mean, the water's, it's nice. You got crashing waves
Right, right.
but yeah, no, we but so they found a place called the Tipsy Turtle. It's called nice place outside. They sell beer, they sell food, and they got a restroom, big restroom. That's the age we at. That's how you do it, man. It's like
Too cold to go in the water.
it was. We tried a little bit, but so anyway, that's why we couldn't do this on Sunday, y'all. I was doing family stuff and had a few beers sitting on the beach, and by the time we got back
It was
that
a
night,
pretty day though, man. Sunday was really nice.
gorgeous day. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day to be in America.
I
Um,
literally did not leave my house from Friday when I got home from work till Monday when I went back to work.
it's pretty cool when you can do that.
Yeah.
My younger son in Thibodeau does that a bit and you can just tell because, I've got Ring doorbells.
Right. Well,
And
mine's like the Life 360. It's like I felt like when I was checking to see where my wife and daughter were. It was. I've been home longer than my 91-year-old dad has been home.
that's my son. It'll pop up sometimes. Been here for one day, 14 hours. I'm like, yeah, I get that. Just pull in. But I wasn't talking about like stuff, miss. I was in Nashville last week, and It's sad. The hotel I stayed in was connected to the Country Music Hall of Fame,
Oh, nice.
but they closed.
You
I
would
mean,
think.
they closed it at 5 o'clock. You know, and it's like I had stuff on. So it's like, the first day I got there, it was closed. And then the next day I had to speak and do some other things and had to head to a reception thing.
Right.
But they had a few things outside that was kind of cool. But old country music, man, that makes me miss the good old days. Um, you know, Dolly Parton.
I like all. See, that's my whole. I like Hank Williams, not Hank Williams Jr., but I'm talking about Hank Williams, the what I used to call Chank Chank country.
Check a Chank. I was okay with him. I was more of the Tom T. Hall.
Yeah, I like those guys, but I also like now I like Chris Stapleton because
Couldn't even tell you these guys, dude. Could not.
but
I
he's got that old sound.
That's why I got old music for. Don't need any. I
Yeah,
see that. I'm sure they got and that the thing too in Nashville downtown on Broadway and right off it. Apparently, anybody and everybody who has been any name at all in country music in the
has
past
a
five
bar.
years, they got a club. They got a
Yeah.
club. Kid Rock's got a club. This guy Morgan Wallen, I know he's somebody. He's got a club. Blake Shelton's got a club. John Bon Jovi has got a bar. I didn't walk
In
into it.
Nashville,
In Nashville, the John Bon Jovi bar. Not a small place either.
what's his name?
Kid Rock's big.
American Idol judge guy. I don't know. I forgot people yelling, knowing
I,
who it is, but he's got a bar in Nashville. Country
American
singer
Idol
guy.
guy.
He's one of the judges on American Idol.
That's that Blake Shelton.
No, that's
No,
on the voice. Let's see. I'll
flashing
Google
our
it while
fla-
you talk.
flashing our
Uh,
knowledge here. I went to hung out at Kid Rock's place for a little bit. I mean, he's raking the money in.
so,
And John
but Luke
Rich's.
Bryan is the guy I'm talking about.
Who's that?
Luke Bryan.
All I know about Luke Bryan are the memes I see that make fun of him. You know
I don't
that
know, but women love him.
really.
Yeah.
All right, so be it. So be it. But I like Nashville. I like the Nashville downtown. But interesting thing is that and the musicians there, they're all. I mean, you got to be really, really, really good just to get any time on any of those stages.
Right.
But dude, they're basically live jukeboxes now because that's apparently how they make their money on tips. On tips, they're always
Wow.
passing a bucket, or some of them have QR codes to scan.
Yeah.
And then, like at Kid Rock's place, the band, and they were a good band. I mean, they were out. I forget. I don't know who cares what their name is. And there's probably like 4 or 5 of them, good musicians. But you would make you could make a donation or tip, and they would play them in the order of the biggest. Like somebody put $100, they got their song.
That's wild.
So and
I'm
the next,
guessing there's no cover charge to get in.
no, there's no cover. There's no cover.
All
And
right.
that's one of the things that you don't have to pay anything to get in here. And I thought to
Yeah.
myself, man, how hard is it to be a musician good enough to get up there, to bust your tail to do it? Then when you're up there, you got to be selling like a freaking Girl
You got to
Scout
beg for money and play crap you don't want to play
and
because
play crap you don't want to play. And then some of these people were like literally saying, "Oh, we never played that before, but let's see." And but you also see how good of a musicians they are,
Yeah.
and they're all pulling up on their phones or on their things the music. And I'm pretty sure one of the young ladies I saw, I'm pretty sure she had an earbud in. And I think I could do that. Like if I sort of know a song, but I don't know, I don't think I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
you get a fraction of a beat behind it.
Well, but then that's up to the band. I think the musicians could kind of like, but then it also tells you what note to hit. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. If you never sung a song, now my older son, he can look at science. What he's a music major. He graduated music. He can.
Yeah. Right. A lot of those guys don't read music. I see that when we call the band at my church or the type of church I go to, they're called the worship team. And when they're learning a new song or practicing in the morning, they play what's called a click track. And you're hearing something
Okay.
in their inner ears that kind of you keeping the beat and it keeps them on time and keeps them at the right pitch and everything. So
Well, I went from Kid Rock's place was pretty. It was a weekday nights, and then I got there kind of early because I'm an old guy. Get there, walking around, and just is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go sit down, have a couple beers, and just see some bands. And I went and watched that one. They were good, and man, they were. I'll give them credit. They opened up with Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy,
Mm-hmm.
when they did a great job, but then they went everywhere. Man, they played AC/DC Thunderstruck. They played Footloose. They played the Killers, Mr. Brightside.
So they were they were cover band.
Correct. I don't know. I'm sure they got their own music, bro, but
Yeah.
nobody's there to hear it.
Right.
Nobody. That's got to be one of the things that if you're going to maybe if you're getting ready to close a place, they may let you play one of theirs.
Yeah.
You're there to be a live jukebox. And then I walked right across the street. This place called John Rich's Redneck Riviera is what they call it. Little place. Like coming out of Kid Rock's. Kid Rock's is like a Walmart. John Rich's place is like a Dollar Tree. Right. But, little hole in the wall. And the band's playing right there. And when I walked in, dude, there weren't but 12 people in the place. Okay. Still kind of early. And the band's playing. I go sit. Nobody sitting at the bar. Everybody sitting around. So I go up and say, well, support the locals. So I just forget what a beer I got. And I turned around and I grabbed a $5 bill and I went just throw a $5 in the tip. I didn't want anything. Just like, all right, and it's kind of funny because they were finishing a song and the young lady, the lead singer says, and shout out to the gentleman that just walked in here. I appreciate your faith in us.
I was going to say that to me as the patron is massively awkward because you feel bad for the band that nobody else is there. Yep. And now it's, what's my obligation to hang out here?
Oh, I probably hung a little bit longer until people started coming in and got a little bit bigger crowd. And I'm like, okay, it's okay for me.
Y'all look good. Thank you.
I don't want to get up because 5% of your audience is going to be leaving or 10%. Right. Yeah.
So like I said, it's just, I would be more likely to stay there longer because I felt bad for the guys in the band.
Yeah. That's what I did. And
well, good on you.
Got back and what was the other thing?
Yeah, I want to read you a story that was in the paper this week or last week. That's not good on you, but yeah, young man at a high school in Baton Rouge admitted to, and I'm reading the headline, accidentally firing a gun in class. So
okay, so that a lot of things jump right there, right? Accidentally, I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
You got a gun in class.
Yeah, I'll read the story to you. So, a star basketball player at Astruma High admitted to accidentally discharging a loaded handgun in class Wednesday morning, just minutes after he slipped it past a metal detector. It went off when he tried to adjust his pants, said the East Baton Rouge Parish School superintendent. No injuries were reported, and the lone gunshot struck the ceiling of the classroom. The police booked, and I'm not going to say his name, in parish prison on multiple counts, including carrying a firearm on school property, blah, 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 other things. The superintendent said that school and law enforcement initially had 2 suspects, but narrowed it down to him when they reviewed the surveillance video and after interviewing students. When the suspected student was questioned, he admitted to firing the gun, describing it as an accident. The weapon was a Glock 45 and was modified with a switch that allowed it to fire off multiple shots. The bullet jammed, and had it not jammed, it might have been multiple bullets fired, the superintendent said. So basically, the clerk in front of the school office didn't press the issue when the metal detector went off because the child was popular at the school. So they found the gun. He admitted to hiding it in the ceiling of the bathroom. So here you go. He's a popular kid. So the metal detector alerted. It can't be right.
Well, that story is only a little more disturbing than, again, be careful what you click on or pause on. But you saw like in DeRidder, there's a female mayor of DeRidder having relations with a teenage high school student, the freaking mayor. And then there's like school teachers. All of a sudden, I'm on that feed, and I'm like, I guess that must be some. And I'm like, and it's always the women. It's always, and I know it has to go both ways, but you rarely see the stories anymore of men teachers doing inappropriate, but howdy.
And you would think that it would be, and again, I could get blasted for saying this, but you would think the female students would be more likely to come forth than the male students in these situations.
Oh no, well, no, but the male students brag about it. I
I
mean, that's
guess, and there's
that's how
that
you get
aspect
found
of
out.
it.
They're going to be texting everybody, and it makes you realize that while, and I have a wife that's in education. I have many of my family members. My dad was a school principal. You have a wife in education. Some of the best people in the world are in education, but they got some skis balls too. You don't have
Not all of them.
you don't have to exactly. They don't have to pass that stringent.
Right. And a lot of times it's not, because I'll sit down and say, okay, you could see, let's say the dude was 18 and the teacher graduated college early and she was 20. Nah,
Yeah.
nah, yeah. 30 years old and a 14-year-old.
Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of weird on that too about how I guess guys are different. I mean, yeah, there just is. There's a difference to me between a 16 or 17-year-old, like you said, and right, but
Yeah.
we'll just leave it at that one because we've been canceled over enough things before. But I want to go back to this
Yeah.
guy. What school was it? It was this at?
A Struma High in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so besides wait, he's popular and
Yeah.
okay,
Now,
he's
this is
also
what a young man that I work with, he and I were talking about that story the other day, and he said, here's the deal. The dude had 3 bags. He had a school bag, a gym bag, and a street bag. And he probably accidentally picked up his street bag instead of his school bag.
I could see that. I could
Yeah.
see that. I've gone through. I've been to the airports before. When I go back to Louisiana, or if I've done driving, because when I drive,
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
know this. If y'all want to
You're
start something
protected.
with y'all want to start something with me when I'm driving. I'm packing when I'm driving, but I
Yeah.
can't when I fly. So but sometimes I'll be and it always hits me at the same time, and I always get the pit in my stomach when I'm getting on a plane.
In,
Oh,
in the line.
yeah, and then it goes through. But this guy, first of all, a 45 that's not a pea shooter. That's
No.
that's that's a sizable gun. You said it was a Glock.
Glock 45 and had some rig on the trigger
Okay, but
so that
he's
it could fire
and
automatic.
that's why it fired because the guy's an idiot. You got to really you got to be really incompetent, really stupid to have a Glock misfire. I know a little. I own a few Glocks.
Yeah.
They're pretty safe. It's what cops carry. A lot of cops carry Glocks. But it also means you got one in the chamber, which I don't. Like I say,
Yeah.
I don't do that. Like I don't want that. I don't want there to be a chance that in
Yeah.
my being excited or scared or I hit something or somebody, you don't want to be fighting with somebody with one in the chamber ready to go. All right. Cause it could just as easily end bad for you.
Right. That's how it accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally
But this
fired.
guy had it. Yeah. Now here's the deal. No, seriously. And this is, and I bet you it's not going to happen. The dude needs to go to jail and maybe not for life, obviously, but like he needs to go spend a few nights with some people who do this for a living.
Yeah.
Right. Cause that's just not, you know,
No, you're not. Look, you're carrying it around. It's, let's be honest. Yeah. Probably wasn't the first time.
nope. I'm gonna bet not. But hey, speaking of that first time, we got this far. We wanted to wait all the fluffy stuff. So we commented earlier about World War III. I don't know if we're in it yet. Those of you that watching this, so you remember a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, we blew up a bunch of Iran.
Yeah, I thought that we totally disabled
Yeah, we went in there and man, we saw all the
their
video
combat
footage.
capabilities.
Man, we knocked them back to the Stone Age.
Bro, they got some good factories over there.
It was done. They're not gonna be able to do anything dangerous for a long time. And then apparently BB shows up again in DC, and all of a sudden we're doing this again. So we went in and we killed a bunch. And when I say we, they're saying, well, Israel took the, but it's us. It's like
Yeah. How's Israel doing it? Probably with stuff we
we're
help them acquire.
we're dumb and dumber. We'll Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We're there, right? And so took out like the top guy, the Khomeini, whatever,
Yeah, the Ayatollah. It used to be Khomeini, but now it's the Khomeini.
tomato. Dude was in charge, old guy, right?
I did see though yesterday. I saw something where in the New York Times it had his obituary,
Oh boy.
and it said known for his flowing white beard and cheery or cheerful smile.
It literally said that.
Yeah, yeah, something to that extent.
Yeah, guy's responsible for the killing of thousands and thousands of
Right, yeah,
people.
left that part out.
And there's worse part. I don't want to say there's anything worse than killing somebody, but they also maim.
No, they maim, they torture people.
Yeah, it's. But here's the deal. There's a lot. That's a lot of that going on in the world, y'all. That's going. They got a lot of that going on in Libya right now. We dang near we caused it. We had Gaddafi there. Gaddafi might not have been a great guy, but he was trying to play by the rules. We go in there, take him out. They took him out brutally, and now there's literally open slave markets in Libya.
Yeah,
So,
and that's the whole look. I don't like any of that stuff, but it's if you look at where we select to
that's
go
the
do
thing.
things, yeah, the humanitarian aspect kind of can be overlooked.
Couple things going on here. So we go in, and when I say we, if it's us, if it's Israel, sadly, y'all, it's the same
NATO.
thing. It's the same thing. They're calling the shots. Take out like 40 of these guys. Apparently, here's my. I guess it's a different world. You know, maybe they got used to Bush and Obama and Clinton and God help us Biden, and you might not want to having a meeting of all the top people was
Right. That's what they said. They said it was a major intelligence failure on their part that this information was so easy.
Let's get everybody. Let's get everybody that makes any kind of decisions in the same room. Oh, that's easy. Boom. And then I heard they were doing something today.
Today they were the people who were getting together to elect the new leader,
but got blown up.
So they were all in a room again.
But then I'm reading today that they're naming whoever the guy, the Hamini, whatever, his son has now apparently been. Who wants that job? I mean, dude, it's like you got the most powerful nation in the world, and let's be honest, the most violent and good at violence nation in the world. Not us. They're not the same thing. Like one.
Yeah.
And you want to be in charge? Nah. You know what? I think I might give up the family business. I think I might.
You know what amazes me most about and I know, military operations are different now than they used to be. A lot of it's unmanned drones and pinpoint targeting. But I marvel when people or school kids get in a fight and you got every other kid videotaping it and nobody reacting to the fight. Yeah, you're watching these footage. I was watching stuff yesterday where there's bombs falling or there's in Israel. You got people randomly just driving around.
That's what you do. I mean, well, I guess. I mean, I get, maybe they're used to it. I mean, around here, something blows up, you're hiding.
Yeah.
You're not going about you. But I guess that's the world. But
yeah, I guess it's if you stay home when there's a bomb threat, or you'd never leave.
So here's the problem. And I was texting with some friends of mine today, and I mean, however you feel about this, and like I said, I probably more often than not, I support what Trump has been doing. I wish he would stop freestyling on the mic. I wish, I wish but it's impossible at this point. It's like, here's what you're going to say. Leave. It's like, don't look for, don't talk about, how many ships are sitting at the bottom. Like he has to brag. And I'm like, dude, you just stop. It's not, and now they can't get the lie straight. And don't get me wrong. They all lie. Go back to Carter, Bush, Clinton, Obama, they all lie. They all lie. Trump lies too. They all lie. That's part of the job. Yeah. Part of the job.
Again, yeah. Just months ago, we totally dismantled their ability.
The problem right now is they can't get the lie straight because you got like Tom Cotton, who I don't even know what state he's from anymore. He looks like he weighs about $135. He's so many senators. Whatever. And he's basically saying it out loud. He's on TV. He's on one of the whatever because they got to get on TV. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, well, we knew that Israel was going to go. Israel was getting ready to attack. And when they did, we knew that the Iranians were going to hit our bases.
Right.
Well, first of all, hey, we can have that discussion about why do we have bases everywhere? Why does every corner of the world have the tripwire set everywhere to make it easy to like go after Americans? And I mean, I know it's a deeper conversation than that, and I got friends that would tell me why, and I get it. But so he says this. This is a U.S. senator who's apparently been briefed, who's basically saying, "Yeah, we did it now because Israel was going to go, and if they go, we got to go, and we got basically." And then Trump comes out, and a couple of us like, "No. It was, if anything, we forced Israel's hand." And I'm like, "Come on, bro. Y'all gotta." And here's some free advice. Juan, you used to be in PR, and in some ways, yeah. I'll give this advice for free to the administration. Don't ever have Lindsey Graham in front of a camera talking about anything. Dude, he makes me want to take a second look at Iran. Like he gets up there and starts talking his absolute BS lies, and I'm like, stop it, because you
I think the best spokesman for the Republican Party, Fetterman.
Fetterman's there, man.
Yeah, he's concise. He's rational. He's not trying to spin or anything.
Those of you that aren't remembering or familiar, Fetterman is a Democrat senator from Pennsylvania. He's the guy. He's big. We used to call him Lurch or big
he's
guy.
The one who wears the hoodie
wears a hoodie, bald head. He had a stroke or something prior to his election, which goes to show you, Dr. Oz, what a loser that guy was. You basically lost an election to a guy
couldn't speak
at the
to
time.
debate.
He literally could not form sentences. He did a debate. He did like a 90-minute debate where you had to look away from it. And yet, and again, I'll say it again, I think John Fetterman is he's got to be a motivation to anybody, because, I mean, and I'm not even making a joke about that. I'm like, wow, like that guy went from that to this, and now he's the one that makes sense. He's, and you watch him going, okay, you know what? I could flat out vote for that guy.
Yeah.
I promise you, I'd take him over the two I got. I mean,
y'all got an election today.
Yeah, we do.
I'd vote for him.
Over Cassidy. Is Cassidy? Yeah, Cassidy's running in Louisiana again, right?
Cassidy's running, but Trump didn't endorse him. Somebody endorsed a woman that's running.
Yeah.
And back to back, right when I got home, her commercial was running. Yeah, but we don't have primaries this early, so it's
we do. We did. We voted last week, and we've got
because we do the jungle primary stuff here. So her commercial was talking about all she has, or that Trump endorsed her, blah 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 blah. Literally back to back, Cassie's commercial comes on, and he's talking about all he's done with Trump.
Dude, we got guys over here. We got John Cornyn, who's our senator, who I think is going to lose. I hope he's going to lose. He's been there 24 years. He pulls out his cowboy hat every 6 years. I'm not making this up, man. I mean, this guy, he basically lives in DC. He's a swamp creature. But look, Texas, I love Texas. We live here by choice. We got some problems, man. We got some problem. And all these guys, these liars, all they can do is wrap themselves in Trump. Oh man, you'd swear him and Trump play Pedro every Saturday morning at Mar-a-Lago, man. But
that's like Cassidy. Cassidy's wrapping himself in Trump, and everybody hated Cassidy because during Trump's first term he voted for the impeachment
for good reason. Oh, for good reason. And in this one, he was against.
Right. Right. Yeah.
They're all lying. They all and the more and more I look at this with our politicians, we get, because our politicians don't really run everything. They're powerful people that own them. And that's what happens. I have more respect now for people that go and they're there for like 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. They say, the hell with this. They get out because they see it is just absolutely, you sell your soul. And if you don't sell your soul, they destroy you. They come after you, right? So very, very powerful people are pulling the strings. And we're sitting here pretending. Hey, here's a great example. So this thing called the SAVE Act, All right, that barely passed the House, by the way. So Mike Johnson, stop patting yourself on the back. All right.
Yeah.
So barely got, but about 85% of Americans, and I'm not just talking about Republicans. I'm talking about Republican, Democrat,
everybody, independents,
is for a bill that basically says, hey, you can't let non-citizens vote. Show me another country on the face of the earth that a non-citizen can get away with voting in that, right? But we do it for a reason, because it's all crooked and criminal.
Right.
And
Need
this
the
guy,
bodies.
this guy Thune, I don't know what they got on him. I don't think he doesn't look like a pervert, so it's probably more financial. They probably got him on, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, he doesn't look like the kind of guy they got the blackmail stuff on, that kind of blackmail. But I bet you anything they got some kind of financial shenanigans or something with the family, or there's something going on there. But yeah, and you just go, whatever. Only thing that would cure it is term limits. They're never going to do that.
Yeah. Problem with that is the people who vote for term limits are the one who would be limiting themselves.
100%, man. That's, like I said, I've said this before. I honestly think it needs to be, we don't vote, we draft. It's like jury duty. You know what? I'm going to go on LinkedIn, and that guy looks like he's got quite a career going there. He's telling me how wonderful he is and all his certifications and blah, blah, blah. All right, bro, you're going to be the representative from District 12. Yeah, we'll pay you $500,000 a year,
I don't live there, so
don't matter. Have the politicians we have in DC don't live in their districts anymore anyway. All right, just flat out. But that's why you got to do it. Let's just go out and make like jury duty. And bro, it's hard to get out. I don't want to hear your cry story. You're going to come do 4 years serving your country. We're going to pay you a ton of money. All right, we're not going to let you do inside trading. We're gonna pay you a lot of money and housing. We're gonna
right. It's pure profit.
Cry me exactly. We need you to come here and do what's right for the country, and you get a plaque on the wall, and you go back and
Yeah, hell, I'd let you. If you leave in a minimal amount of time, say make it tax free.
Yeah, and there's the vote, because all this voting stuff, well, it's just like I saw this, again, how they're all crooked. And I'm not going to give the guy's name, partly because I can't remember it, but became a while back. I think it was in Trump's first term, and some CEO, some established businessman here in I think he might have been based in Texas, some rich freaking dude that got tapped to go be a secretary of something or other. Anyway, take a big government position, and people were like, "Oh, I don't know why you want to do that," and da 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 da. And then you find out, because when that happens, they get to sell all their stock tax-free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because you go and serve your country, Juan. So you can take the
no capital gains.
Tens of millions of dollars you have accumulated in whatever, and here you go. Yeah. Come on, man. It's all a scam. It's all a scam.
And now you got Bernie Sanders, who wants to tax billionaires, not on income, on wealth.
How about we just stop? You see the guy that admitted guilt today, the Somali guy in Minnesota, for $5 million scamming autism services? The dude was making up patients, making up services with $5 million. This dude scammed on, right? And I'm going to have to cut a check in a little bit for taxes?
Yeah.
Right? All right. That's why we saved this for the last end of the podcast. We talk about all the fun, fluffy stuff early, and that's okay, America. We're here to explain the world to you. That's our job.
Juan, hot takes.
That's right. Hot takes everywhere. You know what, man? The buffet's laid out before them.
Right there, man. It's just like the guys you saw earlier went to Golden Corral.
That's right. We're going to push the button. I'm going to get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. We hope it did. Y'all, if you want to reach us, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com or
right here.
You did it before?
Here may happen to be.
We will try to be, we try to do them and let them go on Mondays, but most of y'all don't know. This one's coming out on Tuesday. Whenever, hey, every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or subtle implication, y'all.
Man, it's a freaking mandate, bro.
Freaking mandate. It is a freaking mandate. Go out and live your best life. Go for it. I
told a girl the other day at work who came in and said, I had a bad night. I said, well, look at that. It's easy to have a better day.
That's right. Your bar is low. Get over it, right? You never know, man. Days looking up. These guys, 40 guys in Iran that decided to have a meeting when the most powerful country in the world was looking to kill everybody.
Man, might be me having I'm going to get me a good gig out of this.
Man, what's
deal.
12 times 40? I mean,
4,800.
Okay. I don't know what the rules are. You're
No,
supposed to
480. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to I don't know. What was the rules if when they die, they get something waiting for
Oh,
them?
that many virgins? Wow.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the rules work. That's just what I've heard. They're probably having a better day today.
Well, yeah. Depends on what you believe, Dave.
Well, hey. All right. Let me go back and read my Bible in a day. And wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, I would say they're in a better place, but they're probably not.
Yeah, one would hope not.
Okay, so we've been doing this for all these weeks. We always been saying you can have a better decade. Don't do that.
Yeah. That's not the way to go.
Not the way to go. But anyway, so hey, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna try to do our best this week to have a great week. Compare notes, get back together next week, talk to you about it. You guys have a wonderful one. Be careful out there. See you later. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So, we've both said this multiple times over the years where, if I say something, the most important thing is that, I sound good saying it, or that I at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. So the other day at work, they do quarterly meetings with all the branch managers. They come in from training and stuff. And I've never done it before, but I guess, the person on our team who usually does it was out. And they said, hey, you want to go do whatever, talk to them about marketing? Yeah, whatever. What do I need to talk about? And they gave me 2 or 3 things. And it's like, yeah, most of it I didn't really know about, but I said, all right, whatever. And so I go and he said, hey, Juan's here today, talk to us for about 30 minutes. And I said, well, actually, it'll be about 10. Because, I don't really have a lot. But so did that. Then I asked a bunch of questions and I'm like, I went back to my office and said, look, I don't know what I committed some of y'all to, but I answered questions that I had no idea what I was talking about. So I just said whatever. An hour or so later, my boss walks in and one of the VPs that's over all the branches was in the meeting. She texted him and the senior VP that's over my department and said, Juan lit it up in the room. Said they were asking him questions all over the place and he was just answering them like, on the spot. There you go.
Make it up.
Mission accomplished.
Make it up.
Yep. Looked good, sounded good. It's all that matters.
That's funny.
Just don't invite me back.
It's over. Go home.